Hey everyone, welcome to the Fortress of Solitude podcast. I'm your host, Sergio Pereira, and today I'm flying solo. But don't worry, this is not going to be a long one. It's going to be just a quick discussion about some breaking news that happened the other day, which is the Lion King prequel. Now, in case you didn't know, Disney made a hell of a lot of money off the 2019 live-action /CGI weird-looking animal version of The Lion King. Now, naturally, after you make $1 billion, they're trying to think of other ways to milk that cow until it's, dead and dry. So now, the news broke via Deadline that the Lion King follow-up is now set to happen with Moonlight director Barry Jenkins helming this project for Walt Disney Studios. Now, Jenkins is a really good director and, it's in good hands. But it's a weird project for him to take on. I mean, going from Moonlight to a Lion King prequel, it's a bit strange. But now, hear me out here. It gets a little bit weirder. Reading about this, be prepared to have your mind blown. The story will further explore the mythology of the characters, including Mufasa's origin story. Moving the story forward whilst looking back conjures memories of The Godfather Part 2, set on the African plain with a continuation of the tradition of music that was a key part of the 94 animated classic, the 2019 film, and the blockbuster Broadway stage transfer. Wow. The Godfather Part 2 and The Lion King in the same sentence. 2020 just gets wilder by the second. But more importantly, this is a prequel that no one has asked for. If you kind of think about it, nobody really thought that the 2019 film added anything. If you compare it to the 94 animated film, the classic, it doesn't really do much. It's actually a poor attempt. It's a poor imitation of the 94 animated movie. And whilst it was cool, and you watched it, you enjoyed it, it's not exactly the sort of movie that you're going to be revisiting, a couple years from now, like the 94 movie, which is still popular, 26 years later. And now we're getting a prequel because, hey, money, let's milk it. And it's just so weird that studios are still doing this, especially in times now like a pandemic where a lot of productions are being cancelled, a lot of productions are being put on hold, cinemas are struggling, and there's a whole backlog of movies that's still supposed to come out. And Disney's priority in this whole time is to make a Lion King prequel that nobody wants to go see. Now, this is the worrying thing about it, is that I'm wondering how much money is going to be invested into this project. First of all, it needs to be about as much as what they did for the 2019 movie because, hey, if they're going with the same sort of formula, they're going to need a lot of money to replicate that. It's also going to take a long time. I mean, we know that Jon Favreau, who directed the first one, it took up a lot of his time and it wasn't an easy project to pull off. And now, obviously, Barry Jenkins is going to have to do the same thing. The question is, when this movie eventually does come out, after we've seen all of these Disney live-action attempts at recreating the animated classics, is it going to actually even be relevant, or is this going to be a straight to Disney Plus movie? Because you look at it like with Mulan as well now, it's not exactly lighting up anything. There's also a lot of criticism, and with a lot of the Disney movies that are like live-action adaptations of animated movies, people are just not convinced because they're trying to recreate something which cannot be recreated, which is the magic that the animated movies provided us all those years ago. And whether it's the classic songs, whether it's that immortal style of animation, it's something that cannot be replicated on film. And it's something which I've said before, it's like with popular comic books at times and popular characters that start off in animated form, it's very difficult to translate that onto the big screen. And it doesn't, with live action actors, obviously, and it doesn't always come across as well as you think it will. And right now, I just think that this prequel is a pretty terrible idea, to be honest with you. We don't need any more Lion King prequels. The story it's conclusive. It comes to an end. We've seen in the past that Disney tried to release animated sequels to The Lion King, and they did poorly. They weren't warmly received by anyone. They went straight to video. And they never recreated that magic again. So this is one of those instances where, let's leave it alone. We've already had a 2019 movie. They've had their shot at, the reboot, as we always say, the inevitable reboot in Hollywood. So let's just leave it alone. I mean, come on, guys. no one needs a Lion King prequel about Mufasa, especially not styled like The Godfather Part 2. I mean, come on. But more importantly, what do you guys think? Are you looking forward to seeing the Lion King prequel? Will you be giving it a miss? Is it a terrible idea, or is it too Lion Too Furious, or Lion King Lion Harder? What do you think? So leave your comments down below, and while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and visit the website. And you know what? Tell us, what do you think? Should we do more of this? A little bit of that? Come on, just talk to us. Thanks everyone, till next time.